Mr. Clelland here from Clelland Maths. We're doing National 5 Maths today and we are on indices. A lot of these exams are taken from maths.scot. This is an excellent website, so make sure you use that for your revision on top of everything else you do use. And at the end of this month, we will be launching the National 5 Maths app, the Clelland Maths app. Make sure you look out for that, completely free to download and install. It's going to be awesome.
Very simple past paper question here. This is from 2014, paper 2, question 8. So it's a calculator question, even though you probably don't need it. So you've got simplify n to the power of 5 times 10n over 2n squared. So that is the same as n to the power of 5 times 10n, well that's the power of 1, over 2n squared. So let's just deal with the top and bottom separately. So doing the top, we've got 10 n 6. Add the powers over 2n squared. 10 divided by 2 is 5n, and I can take away the powers now. 6 minus 2 is 4.
Clelland Maths is sponsored by Lecky, the educational publisher for Scotland. They offer viewers of this channel a massive 30% discount. Just use the discount code ClellandMaths at leckyscotland.co.uk. The practice question books go all the way from level 3 to advanced higher and include National 3, 4 and 5 apps as well, so you can get any book you need for your studies. These are an excellent resource with questions on every topic and contain work solutions so you can see how the marks are awarded. As you go through the book, the questions get increasingly difficult, so by the time you finish your book, you'll be ready for your exams. Usually £9.99, just use the discount code ClellandMaths to get 30% off that. Link down below.
Okay, laws of indices. SQA National 5 Maths 2015, paper 1, question 14. Evaluate 8 to the power of 5 thirds. Now, it's a non-calculator question, so we're going to have to change it into a format we can work on. So, 8 to the power of 5 thirds from the laws of indices. That is a root. And what type of root is it? Well, the bottom number tells us cube root, and the 8 and the 5 go along underneath the root. So it's the cube root of 8 to the power of 5. So I can either cube root first or after the fact. Might as well do it first because 8 to the power of 5 is a hard sum. So the cube root of 8 is 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So that gives me 2 to the power of 5 still, because it's just the cube root of 8 I've done. 2 to the power of 5. That's 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32, and we're done there. 2016, paper 2, question 10. Simplify n squared cubed times 10 to the n to the minus 10. Give your answer as a positive power. So let's start with the n squared cubed. That gives me 2 times 3 is 6, times n to the minus 10. Times in indices, which means we can add the powers. So that gives me n, 6 take away 10 is negative 4. Leave your answer as a positive power. The last little thing then, 1 over n to the 4. And we're laws of indices. SQA National 5 Maths 2017, paper 2, question 12. Express 1 over the cube root of x in the form x to the power of n. So we've got 1 over the cube root of x. You need to know from your laws of indices that a cube root can be written as x to the power of a fraction. The fraction is 1 over 3, 3 from the cube root, and because x has got like an imaginary 1 here. Once we've done that, your second law is if you've got a fraction, you can make the fraction disappear, take that up to the top, and that becomes a negative power. So in other words, we get x to the minus 1/3 for our final answer. Laws of indices, SQA National 5 Maths 2018, paper 1, question 15. Remove the brackets and simplify. So we've got 2 thirds p to the 4 squared. So this is your power rule. So remember, we looked at this already. We can take the 2 thirds and that gets squared as well. And then the p to the 4 has to be squared, but we can use the power rule. 4 times 2 is 8. So it simplifies to that to start with. But then we need to work out what 2 thirds squared is. Well, that's 2 thirds times 2 thirds. So I can square the top, which is 4, and square the bottom, which is 9. And I've got p to the 8, and we're done there. This fraction is simplified.
Example 6. Simplify expression answer with a positive power, 2 thirds p minus 4 squared. So we've got 2 thirds. This is where a lot of people make a mistake. We'll write this 2 thirds as if it doesn't matter. It does. It's in the bracket with everything, so that gets squared. If it was outside the bracket, it wouldn't get squared. So I need to square the 2 thirds. And then I need to square the minus 4 too. well, square, square, power, power means you times them together. So p minus 4, 2 becomes p minus 8. Okay, so far so good. 2 squared is 4, 3 threes is 9, p minus 8. But it says, make sure you read the question. Leave your answer with a positive power. Well, I've got a negative one. To change that and fix that, the numbers stay where they are, because they're just numbers. They're not anything. So I've got 9 and 4 staying where they are. A negative power can change to a positive power just by shoving it under the fraction. If it was already positive, it would turn negative if I put it under. If it was under there and I wanted to move it back up, you'd literally just change the sign on the power. So we've now got P8 on the bottom, and we're done there.
Okay, laws of indices, SQA National 5 Maths 2019, paper 2, question 16. Simplify a to the 4 times 3a all over the square root of a. So let's just write that out. A to the 4 times 3a, all divided by the square root of a. Well, let's deal with the top first then. 3 is just times by 1, which is 3. And then the powers, I can put a little 1 on this and add the powers. Law 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. So I get a to the 5, and that's over the square root of a. Now, to divide by the square root of a, I'm doing indices, so I need everything to be indices. So that's going to be 3a to the 5 all over a to the half. The square root of a is a to the half. And now I'm dividing indices, so I can take away the powers. So that is 3 to the a, and it's going to be 5 minus a half is what I need to do. Now 5 minus a half, I want it all in fractions. So I will change that to 3a. Now you might know this already, but 5 is 10 halves minus 1 half to be very clear. So that gives you 3a to the 9 halves. Now you could leave your answer like that because it says just simplify. It doesn't say put it back in a root. But if you were to put it back into a root, it would be 3 times the square root of a to the power of 9. Would be your final answer.
Example A, SQA National 5 Maths 2021, paper 1, question 15. 16 to the power of 3 over 2. Well, we need to translate that into, what does that mean? Well, a fractional power is a root. So it's a root of 16 in some way. Just check that bottom number goes there. If it's a square root, I don't need it. If it was a 3, I'd put a 3 here. Okay. Top number just goes along. So it's the square root of 16 cubed. But you can do the square root first, or you can do the 16 cubed first. Well, obviously, square root is easier, so I'll do that. Square root of 16 is 4, but I've still got to cube. Well, cube means times by itself, and then times by itself again, not 4 times 3. Don't do that. 4 fours is 16, times 4 is 64, and we're done there. Question 11. Simplify m to the minus 2 to the power of 4 times m to the minus 5. Give your answer with a positive power. Watch out. Final bit. So you've got m to the minus 2 times 4. That's m to the minus 8 times m to the minus 5. So add the powers. Minus 8 plus minus 5 is minus 13. And I'm almost done. That's 1 over m to the 13 using the fractional rule for negative indices. SQA National 5 Maths 2023, paper 1, question 12. Simplify 5c to the minus 2 over c cubed times c4. So start off by doing my times in. Times means you add if the base is the same. So cubed times 4, 3 plus 4 is 7. So I write C7 on the bottom. So now divide means take away. So I've got 5 still, nothing happens with that. Minus 2, take away 7 is minus 9. And then our final mark. A negative power means I can do 1 over the positive power, so the 5 stays where it is, and the C goes on the bottom with a positive 9, and we're done there.
SQA National 5 Maths 2024, paper 1, question 13. Expand and simplify fully. So I've got x times x to the half, so that's a power of 1. So I add the powers. So that's x to the 1 plus a half, which is 3 halves. And then I've got this 1 times this 1, well, 1 plus minus 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. So plus x to the 0. So that's x to the 3 halves. Anything to the power of 0 equals 1. And we're done there.
SQA National 5 Maths 2025, paper 1, question 10. Simplify n7 times n3 squared over n4. So I'll do the n3 squared first. That's a power, so I'll do 3 2s is 6 over n4. Now I can add the powers, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Over 4, then take away the powers, so I get 9, And we're done there. This has been Mr. Clelland from Clelland Maths. Today we've went through the whole of indices in National 5 Maths. Hopefully you found that useful. Make sure you look out for the app. And remember, you can join our members only channel for only £4.99 for regular live streams. Take care, stay safe, and goodbye.